This is Cece and you're in my kitchen for another episode of Culinary Delights and Real Estate Tips. So I'm in my kitchen and I'm preparing a pretty fast meal today because the boys are hungry, I have work to do, and if you're a single mom like me with 2 kids, 3 kids, however many kids, or if you're single, alone, whatever, but you want a nutritious meal, I have a really good tip for you. If you go to H Mart or Palama Market or even Whole Foods, they have pre-marinated meats. And what I like to do is just saute it with some vegetables and put it into some flatbread. You can do this soft taco style over here, or you can do like a pita style and put it with lots of veggies and sauce. If you want, I buy hummus for the boys. And so I have in here chopped up tomatoes, bell peppers, and lettuce because I want them to have their greens. Already cooked up some meat over here, and so I got this from H Mart. It's the bulgogi stuff. One likes spicy and the other one likes sweet. So I tried to diversify it and do a little bit of both. So I've got some of the meat already sauteing in here. And this is again from H Mart. It's the bulgogi that's already pre-marinated. And what I like is just to fry it up, because even if they don't finish it, which probably with this much amount of meat, they probably won't finish it, but I can use it for breakfast with rice and eggs, and there's a lot of things. This week is a short week because it's Easter. And so I know that on Friday, some of this stuff will get eaten. Sometimes I revamp it, repurpose it, and I put it in fried rice. And there's a lot of different ways to cook this up. But yeah, so this is a little bit of a hack for me. I like to do it fast and easy because I just have a lot of work today. So, if you live in an urban environment, there's always an H Mart or Whole Foods. Whole Foods tends to be a little bit pricier, but it just depends on what flavor you want. These are some of the things that I do in order to still have a nutritious meal because I'm incorporating the delicious veggies, but at the same time, making it fast and easy so that it's not so bad. So what I have going on here is the tortilla. And you can get flour or you can get corn. Corn, I heard, is healthier. But I know the boys like, when I was in Vegas, I actually went to see one of my properties. And as a realtor, I always, talk about investments. And I think that investing in Hawaii is really great. But since I live here and I already have property here, I wanted to diversify my portfolio. And so I have small little investment out in Vegas because it's an easy jump over. And what's great is that, there's a 2 a.m. flight, so it's like so easy because I knew that people were having a hard time and I wanted to give grace to the situation. But after several months of non-payment, we had to go through a process, legal process, and they moved out. But unfortunately, they trashed the place. So I'm going to share that experience with you. Not only as a realtor, but also as a person that is a landlord, and that's a single mom that relies on income, and how that process feels like. It's really important to have insurance. It's really important to have great property managers and not to skip on that. Lord have mercy. Okay. Well, clearly we have work to do.
Yeah.
This was all like really brand new and nice. I remember when they first brought it in. It was when I did an inspection. And this is like so different. Property, and I thought I'd just share it with you because it's important to know all the different aspects of being an investor. Hey everybody, so your interest rates brought to you by Guaranteed Rate at the Kailua office or the Houston office at Berkshire Hathaway is at 6.6 for condos, 0 down, 30-year, or it's at a 6.25 for single family home, 30-year. So I just want to tell you that that's amazing news because before I was hovering at over 7 and we are now seeing a decline. So that has more to So what I really want to talk about today is my experience in Vegas at my property. And one of the units had to be vacated, and the tenants left it in really bad condition. And while I've never lived at that property, I was really disheartened to see the shape that they had left it in. But I'm a single mom with 2 kids, and I'm hustling out there, and not just about financial, but it's about doing the right thing for the people. And sometimes things aren't going to work out the way that you hoped, but at the same time, to do the right thing and to take the steps, well, I think you can always look at yourself in the mirror. And so I think that's important. There's this other side to owning a property that sometimes people don't know. So my really top things to look for in a property if you're going to invest are: number 1, get a great property manager, especially if you are out of state. Number 2 is to make sure that the building or the investment has minimal things that you have to fix. So for instance, I don't have an elevator, it's a walk up, and it's fairly straightforward. Like parking, make sure everything is designated and accounted for, so that the rules and regulations are plainly stated so that there's no confusion. Number 3, in terms of things that you have to do and to look out for. Actually, kind of subjective. I would say that you want to always, as an investor, look for the best deal. So either it's a great neighborhood, but it's not a great house, so you have to renovate it. But just make sure before you do the renovations that you understand the permitting process and the construction process and the costs associated with that. There are so many times that people maybe jump into something and they don't know how long it is. There is going to be a process, and if you can sustain the property that long without income, if you have to do a fix on that flip. Okay, so I just want to kind of extend my learnings to you so that you guys can learn as well, and I hope it's helpful. And also I'm going to be sharing some of the highlights of the walkthrough today. So when I do a walkthrough for any property, I make sure to turn on all the sinks, test all the lights, flush all the toilets, make sure everything is in working order, and I want to make sure that I know, so I record it, and also that my clients know. Whether they're here or on the mainland, I want to make sure to have, at least for that walkthrough day, it's some documentation. It's not a inspection, but it's just a chance to check everything one more time, because if the unit is vacant, you never know, or the property is vacant, you never know what can happen. So it's always just a good practice to do, and your realtor can lead the process. Just test the water, make sure it's running, make sure that it's draining properly. Also check underneath the sink so that there's no leaks. Test the toilets and the showers, test the blinds, open the windows in case there's anything that you may miss. And if there is an issue, of course, call to be fixed, and hold on to that satisfaction waiver, which is something that the escrow company typically needs in order to close. So those are my tips for you today. For me, as I learned too in my journey as an investor and as a mom and from my lifestyle. What are your thoughts?
Very delicious.
Thank you. Yay!